Ladies and gentlemen, this is your king, or at least I used to be, King George III. Welcome to the VoteRiders Broadway Blowout Letter Writing Party. At this time, please grab your pen or pencil, your VoteRiders letterhead, stretch those fingers out to avoid cramps, and get ready for some writing and Broadway entertainment. Please silence your cell phones, but keep them close for Broadway trivia, and get ready to make an impact by getting crucial voter ID information out to at-risk voters to protect democracy, if you like that sort of thing. Unwrap any hard candies, but just don't get any sticky fingers on the letters. Now, sit back and enjoy my show.
Happy holidays, y'all! I'm Jennifer Geller, and I play the Bullet in the Angelica Tour Company of Hamilton. I'm so excited to be hosting this incredible night of Hamilton and VoteRiders Letters to Georgia, a Winter's Ball VoteRiders event. Born and raised in Marietta, Georgia, who better, honestly, to represent than a true Georgia peach? First off, we want to thank you all for all the hard work you've been doing all year long. We had record voter turnout in this election, which is totally a testament to the hard work that everyone at VoteRiders has been doing to make sure every vote is counted. And it has never been more clear that every vote counts. And we want to make sure that everyone in Georgia has their voice heard. Together, in our last 3 letter writing parties, we sent, prepare yourselves, 62,230 letters, you heard that correctly, to voters in key states like Georgia, many of whom are Black, brown, and young voters that are often disenfranchised from the voting process. And we're now focused on the Georgia runoff, where the general election came down to just 12,000 votes. 23,000 young people are turning 18 between the general election and the runoff and have become eligible to vote. New voters. So amazing. So we want all these folks to know that Georgia is a strict voter ID state, and VoteRiders is here to help. So I hope you're all decked out in your fancy holiday finest or your ugliest holiday sweater and are ready to write these letters. But this is also a fundraiser, and in honor of Giving Tuesday, what better day to make a donation? My friend Darnell will have more on that later. So once again, we have partnered with Broadway Podcast Network as our co-conspirators. Thank you, BPN. And we're streaming live on YouTube. What is up, YouTubians? So we want to thank all of you for being here and those who have returned over and over, especially our Hamilton ambassadors, which I am hereby naming Hambassadors. You're welcome for that. Thank you for your time and commitment. And thank you all for showing up for this Winter's Ball, where our letter writing party is the envy of all. Let's take a look at our festive red carpet lounge and see what special guests we have here. Who's here? Who's here? We have Yvette Lou. Look at Yvette. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. We have Crystal Mackey, always in that cute red dress. We love the one shoulder moments. Who else is here? Crystal Joy Brown, who has done so very much for VoteRiders. Also, go check out her Instagram, her latest Instagram video. Amazing. Jordana Grolnick. Who else? Who else? Oh, not sure if you guys know her, so let me introduce you all. There's this woman named Philippa Sue. She's here. She apparently was in a show at some point. You know, may have heard of her. Who else? Who else? Who else? Michael Balderrama! Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. And, okay, our wonderful stage manager, Garrett Kerr, just filled out his Georgia absentee ballot. Yes, Garrett. Wow. We have so many of your Hamilton faves here tonight. So let's take a minute to take a selfie with them, to post your Instagram stories. And if you do, be sure to tag at the VoteRiders. So pull out your phones or take a screenshot on your computer. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I always scream when I take a selfie, and I'm not sure why, but I hope you enjoyed that. Now, let's check in with my ham fam for a behind the scenes exclusive sneak peek as they invite you virtually into their homes to see how they are getting into the holiday spirit and spreading some holiday cheer to our amazing volunteers.
Love doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes, and we keep loving anyway. We laugh and we cry and we break and we make our mistakes. And if there's a reason I'm by your side when so many have tried, then I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it. Hang all the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. And as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together. This Christmas, a fireside is blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me, yeah. Presents and cards are here, my world is filled with cheer and you. This Christmas, and as I look around, your eyes outshine the town, they do. This Christmas, a fireside is blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. And this Christmas, I'm willing to wait for it. Yes, this Christmas, I'm willing to wait for it. Wait for it.
Oh, wow. So that last song was sung by one of the most incredible artists and friends that have ever graced my life, Nick Christopher. If you don't know him, now you do. Oh my gosh, this makes me miss my ham fam so much. In fact, this is my first holiday away from the ham fam in 3 years. A long time. So usually this time of year, me and a couple of castmates on tour always make sure to get a cute cute Airbnb, big enough for pretty much the whole cast, so that we can have a holiday party. Being on tour and away from family for years and years can be really amazing because you have such a beautiful holiday celebration. And we're actually really family to each other. So that makes it so much easier being away from family. My friend Crystal Mackey and I always cook a whole bunch of food. Crystal makes pina coladas. I make the Thanksgiving turkey. For Christmas, we cook pretty much the same exact things. Robbie Nicholson, my dance partner in the show, bakes any and every sweet treat in the entire world. And fellow castmates bring dishes. We have like a little potluck. So yeah, I miss that so very much. And Crystal and I have already made a promise to host a dinner party as soon as we can get back on the road, since we're missing the one this holiday. So I'm so excited to get back to that. It'll just really... What's that? My little baby Olive has informed me that we're almost ready to start letter writing. And we know we all have so much holiday cooking and shopping to do. So let's get these letters in the mail by this Friday. Got it? Good. Now I want to introduce you all to the holliest, the jolliest, the elf on the shelf, the amazing COO of VoteRiders, Shannon Anderson.
Jennifer, you are a peach indeed. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction and for co-hosting this fabulous party with us tonight, along with another Georgia native, our wonderful stage manager, Garrett Kerr, who is making the magic happen backstage as we all join forces to do everything in our power to support your fellow Georgians in making their voices heard. And thank you, thank you, thank you to each and every one of you here this evening, because you have recognized the importance of all of us writing like we're running out of time, because we are. The voter registration cutoff in Georgia is in less than a week, and early voting starts in less than 2 weeks. It's already GOTV. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts to each of you, especially our endlessly talented and passionate Hamilton family and all of our phenomenal Broadway friends, all of our incredible volunteers and donors, our treasured partners and sponsors, and our tireless staffers, and all of our new friends here for the first time tonight, each of you giving everything you have to give to this critical mission. I do have to take a moment here to celebrate the fact that so far this year, we have directly assisted roughly 1.4 million voters. And over the course of just 3 Hamilton and Broadway hosted letter writing parties in August, September, and October, we literally exhausted our entire universe of Georgia voters for the general election. So I'm incredibly excited to see what we're going to be able to accomplish tonight, especially with 23,000 brand new young Georgia voters just waiting to hear from us, telling them we have their backs with whatever they need. So again, thank you truly for feeling compelled to do everything in your power to fight for the very soul of our nation, and for not being too exhausted to keep fighting past November 3rd. I know we all thought we might just get a little tiny bit of a break, right? But the reality is that this fight for voting rights has been going on for 2 centuries. And we are still here because, unfortunately, the struggle is still very real today, especially in states like Georgia, where obstacles between voters and the ballot box continue to mount by the day. We are talking about Georgia here, the very home of the civil rights movement, the home of one of our true American heroes, Representative John Lewis, who implored us, I appeal to all of you to get into this great revolution that is sweeping this nation. Get in and stay in the streets of every city, every village, and hamlet of this nation until true freedom comes, until the revolution of 1776 is complete. These are our streets right now, and we're staying in them. In the wise words of our Hamilton friends, this is not a moment, it's the movement. So together we honor the monumental urgency of this unprecedented moment in time, while we commit our heart and soul to this long-term movement with each of you. Our very VoteRiders name was in fact inspired by Representative Lewis and the Freedom Riders, and we remain steadfast in our mission to honor their legacy by ensuring that voter ID laws do not strip any eligible voter of their right to be heard. Because Representative Lewis also said, when you see something that is not right, not fair, not just. You have to speak up. You have to say something. You have to do something. And the wildly disproportionate impact of these voter ID laws is not right. Georgia is one of the strictest voter ID states in the nation, and almost 1 million voting age Georgia citizens do not have current government issued photo ID, including 1 in every 4 Black adults and 1 in every 5 college students and other young voters, not to mention the vastly disproportionate impact in the Latinx and Indigenous communities and the effect on voters over 65 and people with disabilities, low income voters, and women due to name changes with marriage and their documents not matching. And we have at least as many voters who actually do have the ID they need to vote, but are so overwhelmed and confused and intimidated by these constantly changing voter ID laws that they aren't going to turn out to vote either unless we proactively help clarify the actual current requirements in their state for them. These ID rules are constantly changing. Again, they vary from state to state, and further contributing to the confusion, the rules are also different depending on whether you are voting in person or voting by mail. Then you mix in everything from misinformed poll workers to outright voter intimidation. And it's no wonder that hundreds of thousands of Georgia voters are going to be inclined to just throw up their hands before they reach the ballot box if they don't know we're here to help them. But just think about this for a second. We are talking about a state that came down to just 12,670 votes in the presidential election. We had more than 1,000 of you step up tonight to support Georgia voters. So if each of you writes all your letters, you will be personally reaching out to more than twice that many voters with the information and resources they need to make their voices heard. In fact, close to triple. With the fate of the US Senate, our very future, hanging in the balance. How powerful is that? And on that note, I'm going to turn it over to our true Georgia expert on the ground in Noonan, just outside of Atlanta, to give you just a little more context for the urgency surrounding this particular runoff election and a window into a bit of the work our team is doing on the ground in Georgia as we speak before he provides you with a quick training so that we can all get to work ourselves wherever we may be and enjoy some fabulously festive fun while we're at it. Over to you, Sylvester.
Hello, and so let me just jump back in. What I was telling myself, but I will tell you about some of these very important numbers in Georgia. So 2.6 million Georgians were already registered to vote, but didn't come out in the 2020 general election. So we want to make sure we're reaching out to folks, make sure we're bringing that number down, because voter ID could be an issue on why that number is so high and why they didn't vote this past November. And then you see that 820,000 number. That means folks that live in Georgia that don't have a current government issued photo ID. So if you live in Georgia, you know you need a photo ID to vote when you go to vote in person, early, or on election day. And just a caveat about that number, over 585,000 of those folks are African American. And then you've heard this number several times tonight, 12,760. That is how close the margin was here in Georgia. And that is why every letter, every call, and every text we'll be sending over the next month is going to be extremely, extremely important. 23,000. We just talked about the number that was the difference in the presidential election here in the state of Georgia. Well, even more than that, almost double that number of young voters are going to be eligible to vote between November 4th and January 5th. And so that is a whole group of folks that didn't have the chance to cast their ballot in the general election. So we want to make sure their voice is heard, and you're going to be helping with that with your letters that you're writing this evening. But these are just some of the key dates that we want you to be aware of as you prepare your letters and get them out, because we sent this batch out and we want to make sure that they get to the voters in time. So please try to get those out by Friday. People have already started requesting and returning their absentee ballots here in the Great Peach State. Early voting begins December 14th, and that is very soon. So we want to make sure that those letters are getting out so people know that they can get to go to early vote. And just a heads up, in the great state of Georgia, we're letting State Farm Arena and Mercedes-Benz Stadium will be early voting locations if you live in Fulton County. And then, of course, the big date that we want to note is January 5th, when it is the runoff election date. But we have been here on the ground. Shannon has told you that. My colleague Marquise, myself, we've been working with organizations like Black Voters Matter, the Sigmas you see there. Marquise helped feed over 500 families this past Thanksgiving holiday. But your work that we're doing, the calls that you're making, the letters that you're sending, go directly to the impact that we're able to have on the ground and be able to make with folks on the ground in this great state of Georgia. We had programs like Souls to the Polls that were very monumental in all the work that we did and making sure that we turned out epic numbers in Georgia. So what's on the ballot? Why is VoteRiders here, and why is everybody else so focused on Georgia currently? Well, that's because both of our Senate seats are up for grabs. John Ossoff and David Perdue are fighting for one Senate seat, and then we have Reverend Ralph Warnock and Kelly Loeffler fighting for the other. But we also have Public Service Commissioner on the ballot, so we want people to be aware of that as well. But remember, we're not here to support any candidates or support any political party. We just want to make sure people have that voter ID information that they need to participate in this upcoming election. And that's, of course, what our goals is, to give those folks their needs. And if they have any question about voter ID in the state of Georgia, across the nation, they know they can reach out to VoteRiders for free assistance and to help with those questions. So let's talk about what you're going to need this evening to start writing with VoteRiders. Of course, you're going to need your favorite colored utensil. So if that's a pencil, a marker, grab that. Everybody should have received that letterhead with the voter ID information that's crucial to the state of Georgia. If you haven't, make sure you send us a message and we'll get that to you. Stamps and postage is very important as well, just because we got to make sure these letters are getting out, want to get them out by Friday and get to the voters. And everybody, we sent out over 1,000 lists this evening. You heard Shannon say, if we reach out to all these people, over 30,000 voters will be contacted. And each person who signed up received a unique address list this evening. So if you need that, or if you need help accessing your list, again, reach out to us. And then lastly, you'll need some envelopes to put all those lovely letters you're about to write in the mail and get them to the great state of Georgia. So what are we going to put on these letters? Well, VoteRiders, we've already put the crucial voter ID information in the letterhead, and we put how to reach out and contact us. What we want you to do is add that personal touch, that tell them your vote counts, make sure your voice is heard. Whatever personal notes you want to add to make it unique, to make them want to engage with that letter, that's what we're looking for you to add to make sure that this has an impact on the voter it goes to. And again, a friendly reminder, while you're decorating your letters, while you're writing your lovely notes, remember, we are a 501c3 nonpartisan nonprofit organization. So please refrain from drawing any animals, phrases, symbols, or people that may be deemed offensive or partisan. And this is very key, the return address. And so when we're making these universes, and we use those demographics that Shannon talked about, voters of color, younger voters, women, and we put that into a system called VAN. And what that does is that spits out the people that you're going to be writing to today. We ask you to put the VoteRiders return address because if any of those addresses are bad, we want to know so we can feed that information back into VAN to make our systems cleaners and other nonprofits across the nation that use VAN to reach out to voters. But of course, half the work is being done this evening writing the letters, but we want to make sure that we're maximizing the voice of VoteRiders and our volunteers and our ambassadors. So spreading the word is the other half of the battle. So how do you do that? We've already started taking selfies. I'm sure many of you have already shared them on social media, but continue to share your progress. Continue to share the hard work you're doing on social media. Show dropping it off at the mailbox, going to the post office, or your completed letters. But make sure when you do that, blur out any voter identification or voter info that may identify the voters that you are writing to. And again, if you're going to be on Instagram, if you're going to be on Twitter, if you're going to be on Facebook, make sure you tag VoteRiders so we can see the hard work you're doing, show your network, and make sure we can repost you. So if you ever want to do that, use ID check and then go to VoteRiders on Instagram or VoteRiders on Twitter. And you see some great pictures from some of our past letter writing parties with Darnell, some of our great other ambassadors, and how they shared and spread the word about VoteRiders. But with that being said, I think we want to hear from Darnell again about how you can help spread the word. And if you're not writing letters, how you can maximize your effort and our mission in other ways. So now I'm going to kick it over so we can hear from Darnell.
Hey, Ham Fam, this is Darnell Abraham. Play the role of George Washington with the Mbiggy Company. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Your participation and partnership and reaching all of the voters in Georgia is paramount. So thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. So in addition to raising awareness, the letter writing parties, the text messaging, the phone calls, and all of the follow-up that's going to happen after we're done with this party, there's a fundraising component that we would love to share with you all tonight. I believe no money, no mission. So what that means is for $25, that's going to help pay for someone's ride to the DDS, which is Georgia's version of the DMV. For $50, it pays for a certified copy of a voter's birth certificate. For $100, it provides custom assistance with name change documents. And that's really important because if someone gets married, then we want to make sure that their last name matches all of the documents. Unfortunately, a lot of voters are ineligible to vote because a difference in last names. We don't want that to be the case. So for $500, it covers the cost of a virtual phone bank to voters who are at the highest risk of being blocked. And really, that's a shame, that's a pity. So let's make sure everyone gets a chance to vote. Lastly, $8,200 is enough to reach the 820,000 Georgians who are age eligible, but yet they still don't have a current government photo issue ID. You guys, that's 820,000 people. And so $8,200 will help us reach all of them. So anyways, there's no amount too small, no amount too large. And so we certainly want to get the word out. So this is where you can come and help us out. If you go to voteriders.org/winterball, you can make your donations there. Once again, that's voteriders.org/winterball. And to sweeten the deal, any donation you make, we will send you a Ham Fam holiday recipe book. That's right, Ham Fam holiday recipe book. So thank you again, you guys, for joining us tonight. You are loved. Happy holidays. Have a good night.
Wow. Thank you so much, Shannon, Sylvester, and Darnell. Let me take a moment really quick once again to shout out our amazing Hambassadors. Here they are. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You know them, you love them. Here they are. Hey, work. So you guys are going to get these letters out faster than Santa can gobble down cookies. Oh, I'm not Santa. I just happen to have cookies here. I swear. Okay. Anyway, I believe in you. Let's do this. First, though, we have a special treat. Crystal Joy Brown and Crystal Mackey are interviewing two amazing young Georgians who have taken part in our EduHam program and want to share with you all their experiences of voting for the first time this November. Take it away, Crystals.
Happy holidays, everyone. I'm Crystal Joy Brown, and I play Eliza in Hamilton on Broadway.
And I am Crystal Mackey from the First National Tour of Hamilton, also known as the Angelica Tour.
And we are the Hamilton Crystals.
Today, we are joined by two amazing young ladies from Callaway High School in Hogansville, Georgia, who we got to meet through Hamilton's education program that was unfortunately canceled due to the pandemic before they were able to perform the piece that they created. Y'all, this piece was brilliant. In case you aren't aware of the Hamilton education program, or EduHam as we call it, it is a program where students explore the worlds of Hamilton and America's founding era in the classroom, ultimately creating and performing their own narrative in form of song, rap, spoken word, or scene. At the onset of the pandemic, we expanded the program in a free digital format for students and their families to do together.
Messiah and Tamira are smart, passionate, thoughtful, and just amazing. And these beautiful young women both turned 18 just in time to vote for the first time in the recent general election. They can't wait to do it again in the upcoming Georgia runoff with all the eyes of the country and the whole world on their home state. And we are just thrilled to have them join us tonight. Hi, welcome.
Hi. We wanted to bring them here today to talk with us about their voting experience and why it's important for their voices to be heard. Messiah and Tamira, thank you so much for being a part of our Winter's Ball event. What inspired you to vote, and how did it feel the first time you got to vote? How did the voting process compare to what you thought it would be?
So like from a young age, it's like always been, I've always wanted to vote. It's just like something about being able to go out there and to go, since I'm 18, I can go vote now. So I've always wanted to go out and vote. That's just, I've been outside. I was like, yeah, I can vote now finally. And yeah, it was really cool. I just always wanted to like just be able to go out there.
Yeah, I agree. Same. I've always been excited to go out and vote. And another thing that really kind of made me want to vote more is like my classes in school, like my AP government classes, like just seeing, like we had debates in class, and so that got me more into it, and like politics in general. So, excited to make my voice be heard.
Oh, that is so important right now. We know that tens of thousands of young Georgians have been turning 18 in November, December, and becoming eligible to vote in this runoff as we speak. So how do you think that we can better support our new young voters to make sure that they have all of the information and resources they need to have their voices heard? Was there anything in particular for you that like made you go, okay, I can understand how I register, how to get involved in this process?
I don't know. I went on vote.org, I think, just by seeing like on social media, like, oh, just go here. It's really easy to register to vote. And I know I've seen like on Snapchat, Twitter, and like TikTok, all these ads saying you can click here to vote. Like, and I know like they were saying thousands and thousands of people registered through Snapchat. So I think just like reaching people where they are, making it an easy process.
Yeah, like she said, social media was like a big impact because you will always see it. Like every time you get on, it's like register to vote, yep. And it's like all in your face, and you couldn't avoid it. So I think that's why it was so much easier for everyone to go ahead and register to vote. And it wasn't a hard process as many people think. It was really simple. Registering was very easy. We just filled that out like on a simple website. And when I went to vote, it wasn't too long of a wait. It was a little hassle because I had just turned 18 the day before. So the day after I went to vote. So I wasn't really in the system yet. So they had to call the administration or whatever and have them make sure that I was put in the system. And it was just a little more time to wait, but it wasn't too hard of a hassle for me.
Yeah, and I registered because you can register up to 6 months before your 18th birthday in Georgia. So I registered like as soon as that 6-month mark hit. So by the time it was time to vote, I was in there, and I did early voting in person. So it was just a small line, and it was very simple, very easy, very quick.
I love that you guys didn't give up. You kept it. You kept the wait, and it was so inspiring. Thank you.
Yeah. And people need to hear that sometimes they just have to continue to stay in that line or to ask the questions and make sure that they get to be able to vote. So, as VoteRiders volunteers, we've been sending personal letters and texting and calling voters with critical information like upcoming deadlines and ID requirements, working with organizations like Black Votes Matter, and churches giving away boxes of food with important voting information on Thanksgiving, working with high schools to speak at assemblies and blast information district-wide and superintendent emails, getting different influencers to post, like you guys said on social media, just being bombarded with the information, to make sure that young voters and their families know how to vote. How do you think that we as an organization can help encourage more young people to get involved in sharing in this important voting information?
Well, I say just keep on the push with social media is the best way, because it's everybody's always on their phone on social media, and that's where we see it the most. But it was really put out there this year.
Yeah, in addition to what she was saying, I think that's one reason why we had such a high voter turnout this year was because people felt impacted by the election. They felt like this is going to affect me personally, my family, my friends. And so just letting people know that it's not just that election that'll affect you, it's every election. So I think y'all are doing really great things, putting forth great efforts. So.
Oh,
you guys are so amazing.
You are really, truly. So if you have friends, family who are not inclined to vote, How do you plan on encouraging them, to do so by January 5th and in all the elections going forward? How are you inspiring your friends and family?
Personally, okay, for example, my brother, he was not planning on voting in the general election. And so I was like, come on, dude, you have to vote. And I was just like telling him, hey, look into the policies, actually do research on what it is and see how this does affect you. I think people just don't realize how much voting has an impact on what's happening in the country. So I just told him, hey, look into it, see how this is going to affect you and other people. And so he voted. He was excited to vote too after that. So
yeah. And sometimes I think that that's also what people forget, is that you're not really voting for the politician. You're voting for their policy, what they're planning to do. So that's the bigger impact. So going in and actually looking at their website and seeing what their points are is a very good point. That is what I tell people all the time, because you may not be in love with a certain politician and you may not be in love with politics, but it's the policy that actually impacts us the most, right?
Yes. Oh, I love this. This is amazing.
Amazing, ladies.
So, ladies, can you share with us any early memories of you going to vote with your family when you were younger?
I remember, especially with my dad, because he would usually wait to go vote on election day. So we, of course, we would be out of school. So I would go ride with him down when we voted at the Board of Education building. And I'll just wait in line, and they would always give me a little sticker, and I just love to have my little sticker and act like I voted. And it was just a good memory to have.
My mom, she always did early voting. So usually I was in school on her lunch break. But I remember going once or twice, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to be able to do this. Yes. So, it just kind of gave me it made me eager to want to do it.
Yeah, like you, Myra, I always wanted that sticker. With my dad, and I always wanted that sticker. So when I turned 18, I was waiting to get my sticker. So keeping with the theme of it all, who is your +1 for voting this time? We know early voting starts December 14th, but tell us your voting plan. Will you be voting in person, by mail?
I plan to vote in person, and of course, my +1 has to be my mom, because we did it was my first time this year, and we went down. It was my break during my dance, and she was off for lunch, and so we just went down to the courthouse and voted in person. So I have to take her along with me this time.
Same. Me and my mom. Actually, it was me, my mom, and my brother. We all went to vote on our lunch break, and so I think they're going to be my pluses. It's +2, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Make it a family affair. So let's just go back a little bit. How and when did you first hear about Hamilton? How has your classroom work related to EduHam inspired you?
Well, I first heard about Hamilton. I actually saw a snippet of one of the songs. I think it was My Shot at one of the local high school shows. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. So I went home and I, of course, listened to the soundtrack. And I was too eager. I was excited to go see the show. We were planning to go see the show. And when they put on Disney Plus, I was really excited because I've watched it so many times. So it's just an amazing show. I love it.
And me, I don't really know when my first time hearing about Hamilton, but before I ever would listen to the soundtrack or watch the show, my friend and I, we choreographed a dance for our 3 and 4-year-olds to Dear Theodosia. And so that made me excited to go listen to the soundtrack and watch the show. So it was nice.
Has studying with the EduHam program inspired you at all? Has it flared up something in your brain about politics or policy or any of that?
So it was really cool being able to when you watch the show, you're oh, I've learned about this in my government class. I learned about this in my U.S. history class. So it's really cool to see on screen, and us having to do the project, it made me want to do more research about how America and politics and everything. It was a really cool experience.
Yes, and it also makes you want to write raps about it.
Yeah.
Well, you guys definitely did an amazing rap as well. We've got to see your video, and it's so good. So I feel like you have a big future in so many pathways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of Hamilton, what role would you like to play when one day you get to be in the show?
I would like to play the king.
Come on.
I love the king.
I would like, I
Yes.
love, of course, Angelica. Yeah, that's, yeah.
Yes.
Work. Oh my gosh.
I want to
yes,
play
I
the
love
king
that.
too. Can we? Yeah, that's a great idea.
It needs to happen. It's gonna happen, okay?
Yes.
In the future. I'm already speaking it into existence. Okay, so what is your wish for the new year?
This year, I just hope that everyone starts to come back together as a whole, like overall, like in the country and the people, like everyone just starts to come back and enjoy each other and really care about each other again.
Yeah, I agree. 2020 has been a weird year. So I'm just hoping the new year we can kind of leave some stuff behind, start fresh, try to get over some things that we've been dealing with, get through it.
Yeah. Ugh.
Absolutely.
And going back to voting, what would be your message for new voters and people that might be scared to vote?
I would say that there's no need to be afraid. Like if you're afraid of what somebody might say, it's anonymous, so no one can see you. It's a simple process, and I mean it does good. So like you should definitely go out there and vote, register. It doesn't take long, and even if it does, you should still endure to the end because your vote matters, your voice should be heard. So
Yes, exactly. Like she said, your voice, it definitely impacts your future and other people's future. It's not just for you, it's for everyone. So
yeah.
Well, thank you again, ladies. You are truly, truly, truly inspirational.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for voting. Thank you for sharing your wonderful stories with us. Thank you for helping us spread the word to empower every last voter in Georgia. Registration ends this coming Monday, December 7th, and early voting starts just a week later on, December 14th. So we are down 2 mere days. This work cannot be more urgent right now.
So make sure to tell everyone you know that VoteRiders has you covered to make sure everyone you know and love has everything that they need to vote.
And we all saw how it came down to such a small number of votes in Georgia in the general election. So with the U.S. Senate hanging in the balance, thank you, thank you, thank you for everything you are doing to make every vote count. Let's go.
Yes. And thank you again to our newest Hamilton ambassadors, Tamira and Messiah, for inspiring us all to not throw away our shot. Thank you, ladies.
Wow, how inspiring was that? Beautiful. So I know that we can raise $12,670 to represent the 12,670 votes that determined the presidential election in Georgia and really showed us how much every last vote and every last voter counts. Let's have their backs. I'm sure in return, Santa will bring you $12,000 this year. I don't know, or something hopefully like that. Who knows, really? And now for a few gingerbread housekeeping reminders. Remember to be creative. Take photos. Make everyone on your social media jealous of our letter writing party. Raising awareness is our purpose. Please, please, please share. And when you do, tag VoteRiders and add the hashtag ID check. Be sure that the messages are nonpartisan. The return address will be on your screen. And let's slay on those letters while we deck the pages to Broadway's Carols for a Cure. And then I'll be back with a little dance break that'll put you in the holiday spirit right before some DIY decorations with Ryan K. Ho, ho, homies! Are your hands cramping? Does your back hurt? Is your neck like, I cannot hold up my head any longer? You guys, honestly, my foot is asleep. My hands are indeed cramping from writing those letters. So as a dancer, I'm not used to sitting for this long. So let's get up and have some fun. Even though I am Jewish, this is my absolute favorite Christmas song. It is the Jackson 5's rendition of Santa Claus is Coming to Town. So I'm going to play it. We're going to dance. I'm going to teach you this quick combo. We're going to do it twice. You're going to love it. It's so easy. Okay, everybody, stand up, or you can sit down. It's totally up to you. Okay. Give me some shoulder rolls. Okay, here's the dance. Warm it up. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. We're going to clap. You're going to step to the right and clap, step to the left and clap. You're going to do that for a count of 8. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, work. Yes. Very next thing you do, you're going to lift your arms up and you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wiggle out the hips. Get those arms moving. Last thing you're going to do, you're going to shake right, left, all the way around, left, right, all the way around. Do you have it? Can we try it? I heard yeses all around. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Hey! Woo! Arms up. Okay. Let's do it again. Hey, hey, get low, get low. Okay, one more 8. Yeah, here we go. Yes. 5, 6, shake it. Hey. Okay, see? Fun, right? You guys, that's my favorite song. I love it. Okay, let's take another selfie. Why not? Let's take a sweaty selfie. Get your phones out. Get your things out. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yes. Yes, Zoom room. Selfie with the Zoom room. Oh, don't forget to tag at VoteRiders. That's right. Okay, now let's sit back, take a breather, because listen, I can't even speak right now. That was hard. I feel like I just went to the gym. Oh, let's check in with our craftiest choreographer, Ryan Kay, with some fabulous holiday vibes.
Hey there, I'm Ryan Kasperzak, dance supervisor for the And Peggy company of Hamilton, and normally during these VoteRiders events, I help you with a little dance break, but today, since it's the holidays, we thought we'd do a little craft break. So I had an assistant who's gonna help me out. Rudolph, is Rudolph around somewhere? Is Rudolph here? Has anyone seen Rudolph? Oh, there she is, there she is, our very own Rudolph the reindeer, my daughter Sally. Sally, tell the people what we're gonna make today.
We're gonna make snowman and snowflake hot cocoa toppers.
Hot cocoa toppers. So these are things you can put in your hot cocoa or your other hot winter beverages. I put a recipe in the recipe book. Uh-oh.
Cut.
Should we start with the snowman?
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna show you how you make a basic snowman, like this guy here. We did get a little fancy and we made some bonus ones. Like this is our friend Aaron Burr and his daughter Thea Snowja.
And these are the Skeeler sisters.
The Skeeler sisters, not to be confused with the Schuyler sisters. These enjoy skiing. Okay, Sally, what's the first step?
Well, putting one marshmallow
On a big toothpick.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got these big cocktail toothpicks. You can also use small toothpicks and just combine them together. Okay, we put three of them together. That makes the body, right? Then what? Buttons?
Buttons.
Do you want me to do the buttons?
Yep.
Okay, so we've got mini marshmallows for the buttons. And what I like to do is I like to dig out a little hole and then put the mini marshmallow in there. I find that it helps it stay a little better.
Mini marshmallow?
Sorry, mini chocolate chips. Mini chocolate chips is what I meant to say. So I put the mini chocolate chips in. Boop, boop, boop. You having a little snitch?
And my Skeeler sisters.
That's okay, she'll be okay. Okay, then what? Should we do the nose?
Yep.
What are we making the nose out of today?
This is a candy corn.
Candy corn nose. Do you want me to carve out the hole? Okay, so I'm gonna again carve out a little hole for her to put the nose in. Just makes it easier. It stays in there a little better. Go ahead.
Okay, can you put that in?
Yeah. Gotta smush it in. Then what? Should we do the face?
Yep.
So we've got these little icing things, but you can also, easiest way to make chocolate icing is you take a handful of chocolate chips, put it in a Ziploc bag, microwave for 30 seconds, and then just cut the little corner. You've got yourself a piping bag. But instead, we're gonna use these. Great, so put some eyes on there.
Dad, those look like eyes.
There. Smile, little smiley face. Okay. Then what? Arms and legs?
Yep.
What do we use for arms and legs, Sally?
Pretzels.
Pretzels. Here we go.
Pretzels.
You want to do the arms and legs?
Yep.
Okay.
I have an easier way to do it.
Okay, why don't you tell them?
So, an easy way to do them is you just break them in half.
Great.
And sometimes you can like dig holes with pretzels.
Okay, great. Legs. Okay, then I think we're done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just put them right in your coffee mug or your hot cocoa like that. Ta-da! All right. Now, if you want something a little classier, a little more contemporary, maybe you want to impress your friends on Zoom while you drink your coffee, we're also going to make a little marshmallow snowflake. Now this is pretty easy. What do we use for the centerpiece, Sally?
A marshmallow.
A big marshmallow, right? And again, you can use various sizes of toothpicks, and then we just spoke the toothpicks around, and then you put little mini marshmallows around to make the decoration. Do you want to spoke them and I'll mini marshmallow them? Great. Should I put the minis on first, or what?
Put the minis on first.
Okay. Where did my Rudolph assistant go? She was just here. I was putting these marshmallows on and Rudolph disappeared. Has anyone seen Rudolph? 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 She's back. You want to put the last one on?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, but that was...
Okay. Just put it on there, right on the end. Excuse me, you ate that one. Ta-da! There you go. There's your snowflake topper. And just like this other one, you can just put it right in the mug like that. Have a delicious, tasty drink. Thanks for all your help. Thanks for writing letters to Georgia voters. Raise a glass to freedom, everybody, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays!
See you later.
I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree. Oh, Christmas Eve will find me with a love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams, if only in my dreams. Let it snow.
Thank you to Ryan. I'm not crafty enough to try that, I don't think, but I will definitely be trying that out. And Jared, your voice is like the melty marshmallows of my sweet potato Cassis soul. Okay. Okay. So Crystal Joy Brown, the amazing, the wonderful, has joined us to check in on our fundraising efforts.
Yes, please, please, please continue to give. And you can continue to give after this, but we just need you to go to voteriders.org/wintersball. Oh, sorry, AJ is in the festive mood as well. So please, let's take a look at it. Okay, we've got $2,856.08. And literally every cent matters. So every cent counts. So please continue to give. And we're really trying to get to this very special number of $12,670. So just please, like, all you can do, if you're streaming and just watching and enjoying all of the amazing Hamilton artists and Hamilton and ambassadors, as you've named us, have spent our time, donating our time to do this. We really, really need your help to make sure that everyone's voice is heard. So just so many times, I can't iterate enough. I'm about to donate right now.
We will be back
and we are going to, my Zoom is live. So I'm about to donate right now, $100. Who's going to match me? Is anyone going to match me with $100? Is there
I'll do it. Here we go.
That will also give $100. $100, maybe 200. Outdo me, outbid me. It is Giving Tuesday, okay? And then we remember that Hamilton has also come together to send out a beautiful, beautiful cookbook. It's all of the recipes. We got cocktails, we've got pies, we've got vegan recipes for you and your family to share. And it's from all of our companies, and we've all come together, and there's some really amazing stuff in there for all of you. We have virgin cocktails, which I like, and we have vegan, and we have everything. So you can get that for a simple donation, and we'll send that to you. So go ahead and start donating so that we can start sending you your gift, and that you can also share with others, because it is Giving Tuesday and it is the holiday season, and I plan on doing nothing but getting fat over the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely, 100%. Thank you so very much. And thank you all in advance for donating. How amazing. And like Crystal said, literally every cent makes a difference. And what an amazing thing we're all doing. So thank you in advance, and thank you for being here. Once again, that link to go to is voteriders.org/wintersball. And that is in the chat as well. So now, I hate to be like Santa on schedule, but I gotta get you guys back to writing. So let us write once again as we enjoy some entertainment of Broadway's finest from the Carols for a Cure. So here we go into another letter writing block. You got this. Don't forget the return address. We will keep throwing it in the chat, and it should be merrily scrolling along the bottom of your screen. So here are some more friends singing while we work. Let's do this. Wow, that made me emotional. Speaking of Hamilton, can I just jump in and say, Hamilton was an immigrant who came to America. He saw problems and he said, let's fix them in politics, in the military, in our economy. He was so much more. And thankfully, Lin-Manuel Miranda did such justice and so eloquently articulating his story through music. But in short, that's what happened. He came here, he said, we need to handle these things. I mean, you literally just heard in that song, he says, we need to handle our financial situation. That's who he was. That's what he did. That's what happened. He said, we need to handle these things. Let's band together and do that. And that's what we need to do here. We need to get out and vote and encourage people to do just that. Your voice matters. Your voice needs to be heard. Let's choose people to represent us who will fight for us and fight for what's right. And on a lighter note, what a ball this has been. Thank you all so very much. I hope you're feeling just as inspired as I am to continue this vital work, especially after the song we just heard. My show shoes may be stocked away for now. Sad, sad, sad. But my hope is not. I believe in us. Don't stop all the fabulous work you are doing. Let's check in one last time and see how our fundraiser is going. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Whoa! Whoa. Okay. We basically doubled from the last time we checked in. If we can do that in that amount of time, we can do that and more. Send your friends the link to donate. Friends, family, even if they're not tuning into this live stream, they can watch it on YouTube later. Send it around. This is amazing. Amazing. I know we can do this again. We can double it again. We can triple it. We can quadruple it. Why not? It's Giving Tuesday. Let's help people out. Thanksgiving might be over, but generosity never goes out of style. Hey, 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 hey. Let's do it. Okay. Before we slay away, let's take another selfie of our amazing volunteers. Here we go. Let's cut to that red carpet room. Okay, yes, letters. Come on, I'm going to get mine too. Okay, I'm going to give us all a 5-second countdown, and we're going to say VoteRiders. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. VoteRiders! Such beautiful human beings. Oh my gosh, we want to thank you guys all so much for making this a snowball of a success. This event truly would be nothing without all of you. I mean, it would be me in my hat talking to no one. This only could have happened with all of you guys, so thank you so very much. Once again, I'm Jennifer Geller, and on behalf of all my Hamilton family that has rocked around the clock with us tonight, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of our stockings and even our hearts too. So now I'm going to turn it over to the ghost of elections future, VoteRiders Shannon and Sylvester, to take us home.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for leading this letter writing party. Thank you for bringing this energy to everyone, to the ambassadors, to the volunteers, and to everyone that's been a part of it. It's been a great evening. I'm so glad that we had such a great impact in my home state of Georgia, and I'm looking forward to continuing this work. I just wanted to remind you all some key dates as we close this evening. December 14th is one of the most key dates. That is when early voting begins, and we want to make sure this crucial information is getting to these Georgia voters. So please try to get this batch of letters out by this Friday, because we want to make sure that anybody that needs assistance or needs that information in Georgia, they're getting back to us. And then, of course, the day that everything is leading up to, all of your letter writing, all of your donations, all of our hard work, January 5th, the runoff election in Georgia, those 2 Senate seats and public service commissioner. A lot is on the ballot. A lot is at stake, as you've heard this evening. So continue to make an impact with us and continue to be part of our great coalition. And again, these are just some of the great numbers that your donations will go for. We're writing thousands and thousands of letters this evening, and this is what monetary donations go to help support these letters. A ride to the DDS. I know personally, I help folks on the ground. The DDS is turning out IDs daily. They'll be turning out IDs the day of. So we're able to help these voters. We'll be able to make that impact. And you see what these other prize points can get you. $8,200 does a lot, especially towards our text banking program, which is starting this Friday. And so if you're ready to give, please go to voteriders.org, Winter's Ball. And then, of course, to support us and because we're so thankful for your great donation, we have a Hamilton cookbook ready for you. The Ham Fam has put in some recipes. I've had a sneak preview. I'm excited to get to cooking some of these. So I really hope that you're able to join us, able to donate, able to support our mission, and then get and be rewarded with this great cookbook. And so lastly, these are some of the key dates coming up. We're going to do some more letter writing next week. One of our last parties coming up. So next Tuesday, please join us again. We will be sending out more letters. We have a phone bank coming up this Thursday, and we'll be doing that every Thursday from now to the election. So continue to phone bank, continue to join us for those opportunities. And then again, Friday, we are going to start our first text bank, and that's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. Pacific. So I hope to see you at one of these events coming up in the near future. And we got some more stuff on the horizon. So if you're not signed up to get our emails, make sure that you sign up as a volunteer at voteriders.org so that you can donate, volunteer, and be part of this great mission that we have. And then again, follow us on social media, the VoteRiders on Instagram, and then VoteRiders on Facebook and Twitter. But you've heard enough from me. The last thing I will say is, if you have any questions, email me and my team at volunteer@voteriders.org. But with that being said, I'm going to kick it to one of our great leaders here at VoteRiders, Shannon, to close us out.
Thank you, Sylvester. And thank you, all of you. Just thank you, thank you, thank you a million times over. This unique voter ID space is somewhere that we can all be making a huge, immediate, direct impact in a million different real ways with whatever we have to give, whether it is an hour of our time to reach out to voters to let them know we are here for them, a donation to provide direct voter services, or a social media following that can help us spread the word. History indeed has its eyes on us. So we couldn't be more grateful to be here with you tonight, fighting for our shared vision for a more beautiful America together. Keep writing, keep donating, keep spreading the word, keep getting into some good trouble with us. We love you. Good night.